Title: I came to pick up my son from college when I overheard his friend talking to him. Dude, I don't know how it happened. We were alone, just me and your mom, and I couldn't stop myself. Now she's calling me, saying she's pregnant. Start. I wasn't supposed to hear it. I had come to pick up my son from college, parked a little away, waiting for him. The crowd of students spilled out, laughter and chatter filling the air. That's when I heard his friend's voice, loud, nervous, breaking under the weight of something heavy. Dude, I don't know how it happened. We were alone, just me and your mom, and I couldn't stop myself. Now she's calling me, saying she's pregnant. Dude, I'm gonna be the father of your brother. The world tilted, my lungs froze. And then my son's voice, calm, too calm. If my dad finds out, he'll feed both of us to the sharks. Don't tell anyone. What they didn't know was that I was already there, hearing every word, and that this wasn't a careless accident. It was bait, a carefully staged plan, years in the making, to make my wife reveal what I had suspected all along. I married her young, beautiful, sharp, charismatic. She knew how to light up a room, and I was proud to have her by my side. I built a home, built wealth, built security for her, for our son. But beneath her charm, there were cracks. She liked attention too much. Flirtations dismissed as harmless. Late-night calls explained as work. I wanted to believe her. For years I did. But loyalty is a fragile thing. Once doubt takes root, it grows like poison. I saw the way she lingered too long with younger men, our son's friends. At first, I told myself I was imagining it. Then one night, I found a text on her phone, a simple line, "Had fun today, same time tomorrow?" It wasn't mine. That was the moment love died, replaced by something colder, calculation. I never confronted her. That would have been mercy. Instead, I watched, listened, collected. Every message, every rendezvous, every lie she whispered. I hired someone discreet, cameras in the house, GPS on her car. My suspicion hardened into truth. She was reckless. She thought she was clever, meeting boys barely older than our son, feeding her ego while I played the dutiful husband. I smiled at her across dinner, kissed her forehead goodnight. She never saw the contempt in my eyes. But I knew patience would serve me better than rage. I needed a stage, an audience, and the perfect moment for her mask to shatter. It started with my son's friend. He wasn't innocent, hungry for validation, greedy for her attention. I let the affair blossom, fed it. I created situations where they'd be alone. And then the twist, the pregnancy. There was no child, no mistake of biology, just a planted seed, a story whispered in the boy's ear, coached by someone he trusted, a story rehearsed until he believed it himself. I wanted him to confess, loudly, in public. I wanted my wife to hear it, to panic, to reveal herself. That day at the college was deliberate. I arrived early, positioned myself where their voices would carry. And, just as planned, the boy delivered his trembling confession. My son's response, warning of my wrath, sealed the act. But that was only the opening move. I drove them home. My wife greeted us with her practiced smile, pretending to be the perfect mother. I watched her face as I casually mentioned I had overheard their little conversation. She froze, just for a heartbeat, but it was enough. Guilt cracked her mask. I didn't rage, I didn't shout, I just looked at her with the calm of a man who had already buried his love. "I know," I said softly, "and so will everyone else." I had prepared the stage, family dinner at our house that weekend, with her parents, our neighbors, close friends. She dressed herself in elegance, expecting admiration. Halfway through the meal, I stood. "I'd like to share something important," I began. The room hushed. On the screen, I played the recordings, her laughter with the boy, her careless whispers, her lies stitched together into a damning film. The final scene, the pregnancy confession, echoing through the speakers. Her face drained of color, forks clattered to plates, gasps filled the room. She tried to speak, to deny, but every word only twisted the knife deeper. My son sat in silence, his fists clenched, his eyes cold. He had known. He had suspected. Now he saw the truth without filter. The perfect family portrait shattered in one night. I had already filed the papers. The assets were secured in trusts. The lawyers were ready. She walked out of that house with nothing but shame, clinging to her like a second skin. Her parents couldn't meet her eyes. Our friends turned away. The boy vanished, humiliated, discarded. And me? I didn't need to raise a hand. My revenge wasn't violence. It was exposure. I fed her vanity to the sharks of public judgment, and they devoured her whole. Now when I sit alone, I think back to the moment I overheard that confession at the college. It wasn't shock I felt. It was satisfaction. The final piece of a puzzle I had been assembling for years had fallen into place. She thought she was clever. She thought she could deceive me in the shadows. But shadows betray the shape of everything they touch. I lost a wife that night, but I gained something far greater: freedom, truth, and the cold, steady power of knowing I orchestrated every step of her downfall. I didn't just catch her, I made her destroy herself, and that, to me, is justice.